Hello, you're watching Kill67 Gaming, and it's time for another.
Month in games.
Certainly is. It doesn't seem like too long since we've done the last one of these videos.
No, it definitely does not.
We're getting pretty quickly towards the end of the year, it looks like.
Yeah, it actually is. It seems the more and more we think about it, I think it's because stuff has opened up, obviously, not that long ago. So it seems like more normal than that.
It does seem more normal.
And time's going by.
We have our first thing that we're going to.
Yes.
So if anyone is going to be at the boiler room for the Northeast Retro Den, we might just run into you there. But that's to come. That's
not at the moment.
That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about what we've done over the last month or so.
Yes.
And obviously, the best place to start, I think, is where we always start,
which is what we chose for each other.
So, what did you choose for me last month?
Well, last month I chose for you a game which I thought you would enjoy because you liked the original one. And for you I did choose Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
You did. And I played it, so let's have a little look at. So here I am having a little run. I might have wanted to roll when I hit the floor there.
Yeah.
So I've unlocked a few gadgets to get the whole of the map kind of unlocked to me. So you can see I could swing across there on essentially a swing. Yeah. Fires out my wrist. I can disrupt them to get through as well. And you can see there's a few nice routes through the environment, but it just doesn't seem quite so intuitive. I still love the setting of it, you know, the clean colours and what have you. And I did play a good bit of it. I did get into the story and what have you.
Yeah, well, but it's just not the same as the original for you.
It's lacking something. But you see, these running up staircases is not intuitive for if you played the first one.
Because normally you wouldn't go upstairs, you try and find a quicker way around it. Such as them potentially going up the middle of it. They bounce in between railing and railing.
Aye, there's all that. There's actually very few doors as well, which was loads in the first one.
Yeah.
But anyway, off we're going. These zip wires are everywhere around the map. Might have wanted to do a roll on that as well.
Yeah, you might have.
And these games of service markers, I keep getting caught out thinking, oh, there's something here, and it's just
someone else is.
Someone's done a 20-minute run in 25 minutes and thinks they're clever. No. So I gave this a real good go, a much better go than I gave it the first time I tried to play through it. And I've reached a conclusion. It's just simply not as good as the first game.
I mean, I haven't actually played.
It's not that it's not enjoyable. It's the kind of they've ruined the game. The first game was really well designed, really well crafted levels with multiple routes through, using an arsenal of abilities that you had.
And it was also the fact of how fast can I do it, and then you looked at how fast your friends could do it, and then you were like, oh, can I beat them?
Exactly. Whereas this one, there's a couple of things that let it down. It's a single play area, which is actually, it feels restrictively small compared to the first game, where you were going all these different locations, and it just seemed like a big, large, fleshed out world. Like I say, and you had all these multiple routes through. Um, there's also a lot of your abilities are locked from the start.
Yeah, you have to do it.
So you have to unlock them. However, there's not really a lot of point in unlocking them, because even when you get them, there's no way you can use them, because obviously this small game world has to be crafted in such a way that you can get through it from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really help you massively there. It's disappointing having played the first. I think if I hadn't played the first one first,
I played this one first.
then maybe I'd have thought more of it. Although maybe I don't, maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't have loved the Mirror's Edge brand as much as I do. But there is apparently a Mirror's Edge, the original one, a remaster getting made. That's the one to go for. Definitely.
Now, what game did you choose for me then?
For you, I decided that you should be educated in the way of the Dreamcast. And you got Jet Set Radio.
Well, here we are. This is me doing a new rival challenge, which typically you tend to play as one of your own characters, but
you're not beat here, are you?
I'm not beat. I'm combo in this one because there was 2 characters, which I'm currently trying to get on my team, and I've already got one, and combo's the second one. So this is me trying to race beat to a tagging area to.
You haven't got off to the best start.
I haven't got off to the best start.
I just thought I'd point that one up to you. That was a what?
Well, I'm trying to get through a narrow path between a bus and an actual wall, so. But yeah, so.
That beat there.
That's beat.
Why is he just standing still and doing a wee dance?
I don't know. But yeah, we are through the little drainage. But I think we've just passed him because for some reason he started doing tricks. Don't ask me why, because I wouldn't be.
Because it's a race. Aye.
Yeah. And up into that.
You, see if you put your shopping down, or whatever that big box is.
It's a boombox.
You make it on better. Doing a lot of backflips here. Is that the only trick that you've learned so far?
Well, no, because it's just me doing just whatever I can. There we go. And he's joined with. Now, I did quite enjoy the game. I felt that how you would unlock your different characters, and that was actually quite fun, and that how you do different like challenges like the race and that, or you do like you try and mimic them, and then that's how you'd get them. But I think some of the repetitiveness kind of let it down, because it was like you're doing like 2 or 3 just pure graffiti, getting chased by the police and that, and then you would go around and tag them. However, I did actually quite like the settings of the game, especially the one where it's in the midnight and it's kind of like it's got the train station and everything.
And it's got a very distinct art style as well.
It definitely does.
I think probably the soundtrack's a little bit of its time.
Well, I actually quite like the soundtrack. I think it went definitely well with the game itself, because it's somewhat fast paced in the sense that once all the different like units of the police come out, you have to try and work your way around it. So you're trying to think, right, is this going to be like just a quick spray up, or is it going to be like one of the long ones? How many paint cans do I have? Can I do it in one turn? Or just, it was kind of a bit like that, so it actually blended quite well.
So you played a reasonable way into it.
I think I just started chapter 2 at this point, but it was like the first chapter you took out 3 different, like I guess you could say like gangs or whatever, and like little groups of just people, and you find like different things, like 2 parts of a music disc, and bull or something. No, it was a rhino, golden rhino. So,
is this a game that you'll play again, or are you glad to see the back of it?
well, honestly, I actually quite liked it. But I believe that I will go back to it. I'm not sure when, because obviously there's a ton of different games which I've got on my list to play. But it's definitely going to be up there to finish it. So
Oh well, we'll see if you do that.
hopefully I do.
I obviously play a few other games as well. But one of my biggest free time that I've got is my commute to work, um, and I started filling that in with some handheld gameplay, and I did play DS a bit. You know that I quite like.
You quite like your portable systems in general.
I do. But you know that I really like Suikoden, one of my favourite games of all time. And this the DS game Suikoden Tierkreis. So I do have some time when I'm going back and forward to work. And the DS is handy.
Yeah, because it's quite easily a bit portable.
Very easily to be portable. So you can see that I've got quite a high level here on Suikoden Tierkreis. I actually completed the game.
Did you?
Aye. This is quite near the end. I'm surprised that I didn't have to go to higher level, because I think I'm only at around level 55, 60, something like that. And usually to complete a game you have to go right up into the 90s, but...
Well, it really depends on the game that it is, though. So...
And now that we've discovered how to capture footage off the DS, I might play another one. maybe another one next month.
What, another DS RPG?
Well, RPGs actually have really... you think of them as being really long-winded games, but they're great to play on the go, because you can play them in short bursts. Play a couple of battles here, do a little bit grinding there, do you know? It just kind of works. And there was quite a lot of them on the DS. Shouldn't be much bother taking out this last one, I wouldn't have thought.
Hopefully not.
There we go. So this has really been a good game to have on my commute to work. RPGs just do lend themselves to these short bursts where you play for like half an hour at a time.
Because they're long games, you kind of have to try and break them down anyways.
Well, but I've really enjoyed playing it. Yeah, obviously it's got very dated visuals now, but it's kind of the charm of the Suikoden series anyway, because it's like
it's the charm of quite a few RPGs is the somewhat dated graphics and that. So.
Well, even at the time, like when I played the original Suikoden, the first one on PS1, it was essentially just a 16-bit game. That's how it looked. That's how it played. So it's always had like a dated visual. It's the story that drags you in, collecting all your stars of destiny and what have you. And there's a lot of that as well, getting your castle and populating it with all these people. Just really properly enjoyed playing it, and played it all the way through, completed it. Which actually I was thinking about it, and usually I play a Suikoden game at least once a year, and I hadn't played one this year. So there you go. That's another one ticked off the list. Don't know which one I'll play next year, but I've got plenty of time to think about it. Now, what about you? What else have you played?
Well, I've actually played, obviously, with you giving me a Dreamcast game, which is technically a retro console. I've went with a more modern one, which I tend to do.
What a surprise.
I went on the PS4, and I've played Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Now this is me hunting down one of the captains, because it is my mission to do it. So here we are. It was on a animal. I don't know why, because he can easily be took down.
Why not?
Well, because some of his perks mention that
You not got like a Scooby snack that you can distract it with.
Well, here's the thing. I shot him off. So, but here we are. Just absorb some coins because that unlocks somewhat of like a perk slot, to put your gems into and give you like extra abilities.
So you quite enjoyed this game. Have you ever watched any Lord of the Rings at all?
No, I actually haven't.
So you got no bloody idea what's happening here, do you?
Nope. But it's a good game actually. And I quite enjoy playing. How far?
It seems a little bit reminiscent of Arkham.
Yeah. There we are. He's dead. Just absorb that. Now, as said, there, I actually haven't watched any of the Lord of the Rings movies or read any of the books. However, I did.
You're not missing much. It's 9 hours of them walking.
Yeah. Well,
It's basically the whole plot of the three films is the walk for 9 hours, and then they go home.
Well. Well, this isn't 9 hours of walking. I know that for sure, considering literally when I've been playing it, I'm in the second area, and I killed one person, right? They've came back about 4 times. I'm not even lying, the captains came back 4 times.
You got zombie mode.
After I've burned them to death, because apparently he's cheated death even though I've decapitated them as well. I don't know
Do you
how
come back? He come after you with naked.
No, he comes back with a head and a flaming sword. I'm not sure how this is happening, but every time he's given me some legendary gear, so I'm not really complaining. However, I wish that there was a bit more variety in how he would come back after us, because every time it's an ambush, which gets a bit annoying, especially when you've already got about 2 captains on you, because you're doing like a little thing to get a bit of XP, because you've got skills which obviously enhance how you play it. So like you've got a bow and that drains the yellow shot. However, you can't do it in the air until you get the skill, and then eventually it drains less focus and that. However, I've quite enjoyed the game, and I'm definitely going to continue playing it, and then hopefully go into the Shadow of Mordor game.
Well, here's the thing: we know nothing about Lord of the Rings or these games. Actually, it goes, and yes, we do have them both. You've played the round one first, haven't you?
I have, and I've played them out of order, but it is what it is, considering literally I knew nothing about them all, and knew that they're meant to be really good games, so I thought, you know what, that's the one which
Since you're playing them backwards, let's just hope that there's no spoilers in this game for the first one.
I mean, if there is, obviously I haven't really picked up on them because I haven't played the first one.
No.
So I wouldn't know, most likely, so unless it does like a massive flashback, I'm not really going to notice them until I play Shadow of Mordor.
Probably not, no. But you're going to go through them and see what.
Yeah, and see what how it links together, because hopefully they do at some point, which they should.
We'll find out, won't we? So while you were playing that, I've played some more recent stuff. Unless we're calling PS4 and Xbox One retro now.
I don't know why you would, because they're literally just last generation console.
Yeah, I have played a little bit of Xbox One, and this I think I am classing as retro because it's a remaster of an old early 90s LucasArts point and click.
Well, it's a remaster.
Well, there you go. And I've played a bit of Full Throttle Remastered. Well, see, I know what I'm trying to do here. But the interface isn't brilliant, is it?
Doesn't look it.
And I didn't want to take the hose out there because I'm really going to have to siphon some petrol out.
Lips on that.
But you can't just like suck it up like Coke. I really do need
I'm
the
not
hose
putting my lips on
and
that.
a can as well.
And why are you going all the way over here?
Just going to see if I've left something behind here. Nope, nothing there. Big problem is that I never really have played any point and clicks on a controller.
controller before.
Yeah, it seems as if it'd be much easier with a mouse.
Aye, it would be. Way back when, though, did play a little bit of Broken Sword on the PlayStation 1.
A gas can won't help here.
I don't remember ever playing all the way through it. But I really wanted to have a go at this game just because I keep downloading these point and clicks, the old LucasArts ones, and I've never actually finished one, so I made a point of finishing this one. You go, one hose, one can. Just have to get the right menu up and then we're away.
Hey, who's that down there in the yard? It's Sam.
Siphon out the
Get it.
petrol.
Where? Over there.
Job's
Quick,
done.
you go around the other side and we'll have him cornered.
So obviously I went through this from start to finish, got through the whole thing. It's not a massively long game, but...
Was it enjoyable?
It was. It probably works a lot better with the mouse.
Yeah, probably does,
To be
because
fair.
you have to use the analog sticks and that.
But there's a few of these came up on the Xbox One on Games Pass, the
See, yeah, you've got
the point and
quite a
clicks. So I keep downloading them with the intention of playing them and never actually did, because I always got distracted with something new and shiny.
few. I think you've even deleted some, haven't you?
Probably. So I thought I'll give it a go, and did play it, and it's a nonsensical story. Essentially, it seems to be that there's this guy who's the founder of what essentially I think is Harley Davidson, is worried because the shareholders want to make station wagons for soccer mums. I know, that makes no sense at all.
Well.
And in order to make these crappy family cars, they feel the need to kill them. I don't know. It's completely nonsensical. But of course it goes with the territory point clicks, because you've got all these puzzles that some of them are quite nonsensical at times.
Yes, yeah. So it's probably the best that it's got a nonsensical story.
So you get to like you knock on a door to find someone, and you know that they're inside, but the door's locked. So you have to find a feather to tickle a squirrel's arse to open the door. Point and clicks are like that. But it was alright, and I did quite enjoy playing through it. The updated graphics weren't actually even that updated. It was just kind of a cell shaded thing, so it was just not pixelated. But yeah,
It was just like smoother.
I might play another one. It was quite an enjoyable thing to do.
Well, there's enough of them on Game Pass, and
There is.
probably some that have been free on like PS Now or something as well.
Probably.
So
Although I don't think that's a big on PlayStation. I mentioned on the original PlayStation Broken Sword. I think we might have that on the PlayStation Mini or something. I don't know.
but there's also like
I've got them on the PC. I think
There's
I could play them with a mouse.
Yeah, maybe that would work better. Do you think? No. So my final game, which I've played, is actually, I guess you could call it half racing game, but it has actually appeared on monthly games before because you've put it on.
Right.
And
That doesn't narrow it down really.
And I have played Wreckfest.
Now I recognise this.
Yes,
'Cause
because
I
you
played-
put it on a monthly games previously. However, I've started playing it this month. Now this is
Oh, I remember this with that bloody combine harvester.
if you get caught up in the middle. It's,
So what we're playing it on here, because I know
this
that
is
we've
the
got
PS4 version
this,
because
we've got it on PS4,
PS5,
PS5,
and it's on Game Pass as
it's
well.
on Xbox One. Have we got an upgraded Series X version yet? I don't think.
I'm not
don't
sure.
think I've seen that.
But this is the PS4 version because with me playing other games and not on the PS4, I thought it just made sense whilst obviously the PS4's on to play this version because then you're not having
Yeah.
to swap between console and console.
Not that it's that difficult anyway.
No.
Oh, he got taken out
He
quite
definitely
comprehensively by someone on the crossway there.
But I'm in first
Watch that
place.
combine harvester.
So I'm in first place, so don't have to worry.
But this game when I first played it, my first thought was it's Demolition Derby, and that'll mean nothing to you because you didn't play
No.
the PS1. I don't think you did. We've got it somewhere if you want to. But then it's like this. You're on a lawnmower. This isn't a car, and there's the motorized sofas and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then you've got like some of the more silly derbies, like the school bus one and that.
Aye.
So, no, it's just a fun. I guess you could call it a racing game at times.
Well, that is a racing game.
So,
did you really need to run him over?
well, I'm not going to swerve out of the way. I'm on a lawnmower.
Why, you could cut him to shreds.
Look, it's not my problem. Okay, I think the combine harvester would have done that before I did.
I'm starting to get a bit dizzy. This going round and round. Actually, watching this. Well, you're doing all right, aren't you?
Well,
You got one more crossway to negotiate before you. You didn't get taken out. That's usually the point where I was getting taken out.
There we go, first place. Now, I have actually really enjoyed this, especially the derbies, when you're in the different vehicles. I think it's mainly the fact that you can do stuff like combine harvester, demolition derbies and that, as well as that.
I really enjoyed it when I played it. It was, to me, it was kind of nostalgic for Destruction Derby, but for you, it's not. This was just like first game of this kind that you'd played.
This is just mindless fun for me, to be honest with you. I still remember one race where everyone is in just a random car or something, and you're in a school bus, and you have to demolish at least 8 of them, I believe, on a speedway or something. And there's like one where you're in a 3-wheeler, and you have to try and do a short speedway and beat all 23 other buses in it. So,
I got mangled doing that, I seem to remember.
but I think I've done it like first or second try or something, because I would just take the inside line. But no, I've quite thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think definitely the customizations for each car is quite good, especially when you go into the visuals, you go into special and you've got a rubber duck on top of your car all of a sudden. So
I think this is a good point in the video just to mention to anyone who's got PS4, PS5 and got this game came out. I think it was Games of Gold on PS.
Games of Gold.
Well, you know what I mean.
PS Plus.
PS Plus on PS5, and it was on.
It was also on PS Plus for PS4.
I think it was PS Now.
That was one of the two.
For PS4. So if you've got that, it's worth giving it a go. It's also on Game Pass, I think.
It's on Game Pass.
If you've got Xbox.
It's pretty much on all the consoles that it came out for.
But this is a game that's kind of flew under the radar. I don't think there's that many people know about it. But it's just such a huge amount of fun that
especially
it's worth just pointing out. If you doesn't matter what console you've got,
it's on there, and it's
what
most likely
subscription you've got. You've got it somewhere, I think.
Also, if you've got friends who like racing games as well, I know that you can play online with them, doing just like random events and adding AI.
Multiplayer on Destruction Derby back in the day was just, that's where the fun was at.
Yes, it's definitely something to consider as well when downloading it and everything. If you can find some people to play it with and do demolition derbies, it's also really fun that way. And I think even just looking at some of the vehicles, like I think on one of the DLCs there's a toilet which you can drive. So
there's some weird stuff on there.
So definitely a really fun game.
But yeah, that's one that's flew under a lot of people's radar, and if you're one of them, it's definitely worth checking out. And I played I've played more than one other game this month, but one other game
you played decent.
That I played put a good lot of time into. And you knew it was coming as a racing game. I have been playing Grid.
I do like a racing game.
Yes, you do.
Actually, I really like this one. Playing we're playing touring cars here, and as you can see, I'm in a rather sporty looking BMW.
It doesn't look much like a BMW, I'll be honest with you.
I'm really sure, yeah, it is. And you'll notice that there's Porsches there as well. So I'm going to guess that this is DTM, because usually here in the UK, flying around Brands Hatch, you wouldn't see this. You would usually see like Skodas and Vectras and
Not whatever you're driving.
aye.
It's,
The frustrating thing I found about this though is not actually me.
it's how it controls
Yeah.
and like handles.
No. It's having a teammate that you have to give instructions to. And this guy that's my teammate, honestly, I can put him in a car that's like 3-4 times quicker than every other car on the grid, and he'll still qualify last.
Well,
If
can
I-
you not
if
get
I-
like better teammates?
Well, you can, but it costs money. And I tell him to push for a better position, and he ends up going backwards.
Well, here's the thing. You tend to not even spend your money, so why not just get a better teammate?
Well, I suppose I could. And actually, it's got the same problem as another Codemasters racing game that I played reasonably recently, Duck 5. But actually, there isn't an awful lot of variation in the cars to buy, which is disappointing to say the least. At each class of race that you go into, you only get a couple of cars to choose
It's like
from.
max of 5 or something, isn't it?
There you go, first place though.
So I really enjoyed my time with Grid, but as I said there, this kind of suffers the same problem that
Duck 5
Duck 5 has with the. It's not quite as bad as Duck 5, but
Day 5, they would give you the vehicle and that's all you needed.
yeah, I mean, at least at this you have to buy the vehicle, but you,
So technically you have to buy which one you think's the best.
yeah, but you're kind of you're very limited in the choice that you've got.
Yeah.
But the game itself's pretty good. If a little frustrating at times because your teammate, although
You can buy better ones.
you can buy better ones, but it just that makes your money go down as opposed to go up because the
Well, here's the thing: the
what
better
paid
you
more
play,
than-
both of these players, the more earnings you get. And I get it; they take more, the better they are. However, you never spend your money because you only just choose one car. So you should probably invest in a better person.
well, if there was a better range of cars, then I'd probably buy more. But again, that's the flaw with the game. As a racing game, it's pretty good. I think the other thing that some people are like, some people will absolutely hate about it is there's no driver assists on this. So like when you're playing your games and you've got steering assist and braking assist and all
I've
that,
turned all them off, to be honest with you.
they're completely gone, which I like.
To be
'cause
fair,
it makes it a more involved game. You're not just like getting on the-
it's not like auto drives on.
no, it's not like you're just there to press the accelerator.
Well, I think quite a few people actually turn off them settings or like
I-
braking
that's-
assist because
I think
it
they
kind
do.
of actually makes the game harder in a sense, I'd say, because you want.
Sometimes it does
to
because sometimes it tries to brake when you're
When
too
you-
early when you're trying to outbrake someone into a corner, or it tries to take you the wrong line through a corner to overtake someone. But it's like this has got all that just taken out, so you don't get
somewhat frustrated at it as well.
and it's got a decent selection of tracks. The pull of cars is a little bit
Underwhelming.
on the shallow side, but I mean, as soon as you load the game up, it immediately tells you that you can go to the store and buy several DLC packs. So that's obviously why they've been taking out the base game
Because
to try and sell you them.
yeah, which isn't always the best thing
But
because
I just think if you're paying 50-60 quid for a game, the game should really be on there. They shouldn't be looking for another 50, 60, 70, 80
See, I'd
quid.
give it if
on
it was
top
like
of
an
that.
extra, like few, like extra races and stuff, but extra cars.
No,
I mean,
yeah, not the way it should be done. So, a good game. If it's on Game Pass at the moment,
Yeah,
I
it's on-
think
yeah,
that's how I
it's-
got it. So I mean, if it's not going to cost you anything, it's certainly worth the go. Just don't expect Forza or Gran Turismo.
yeah, don't expect to be driving
know-
around in like the mass luxury cars
Yeah,
and everything.
you're not going to get that.
Even though I believe, isn't there like a luxury car on the front cover or something?
I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's what we've been playing. So we're at that point in the video now where we've got to pick a game for each other to play over the next month.
Yes.
So,
what have you chosen for me then?
well, I've actually chosen a game that I haven't played myself, but
Well, to be fair,
I think it's
well,
kind of up your street.
well, here's the thing with my message. I've never played the Catalyst one, so
No. But I think that this game will probably be right up your street because you like anime. You've started liking RPG elements and you like hack and slash.
yes.
Alright, this one is an exclusive on the 360. This one is 99 Nights. And that's exactly what it is. Well, I think it is hack and slash with RPG elements in an anime style.
Yeah, so it
So-
should be one which I'll hopefully play all the way through. Now for you, I've chosen a game which I've never played myself, to be honest with you. However, you got it because it was a nice box.
Alright.
So for you, I've chosen for the Xbox One, The Evil Within. Now, obviously you don't have to put the disc in because we've got it through Game Pass as well.
I'll have one. Alright,
Yes, so
okay.
you can play it digitally and everything. But
I did actually buy this just for the box for that hologram
Holographic brain with the
3D
bomber.
barbed wire brain thing. That's the only reason that I got it.
Well, here's the thing. We need to make a case of playing the games which we buy, so...
Well, yeah, it's I had it for a while. This has got DLC on it.
Yeah, because it's the limited edition.
Oh well.
So
Right,
at least
okay.
you're not having to pay for the DLC.
I'll give it a go. I'm sure that is.
Well, it's meant to be a horror game then, isn't it?
It is. And I do like a lot of horror games, so that could be fun. But that's it for this time.
So if you haven't already, give us a like, a share and a subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you're notified when we upload, and we will see you in the next video.